Today we're going to go over some chucks. This is Grizzly chuck made for the midi lathes. This is a 4-inch jaw chuck, self-centering chuck with a 1-inch by 8 TPI. This is made by Grizzly. Now for the price, it's not a bad chuck. They kind of copied other chucks. This Allen key system, kind of like the Nova chuck G3, which is a great chuck too. I think it's a little unbalanced, but for $100, this chuck right here will get you started. Now we'll go up to my second favorite chuck. Is this chuck right here. This is a G2 made by Technitool Nova chuck, and it's a little different than their other chuck, which is a lot like this chuck here, the G3. But you also got to make sure that you get the chuck for your midi lathe the right side, because anything under 12 inches, you know, you wear out the bearings in your lathe if you go with a too heavy of a chuck. So they all will fit on these little lathes, but if you use them constantly, you want to get the right chuck for the lathe that you got. And then so we're gonna try and show you how this these chucks go on. But anyway, they just you know, counterclockwise. Now, if you see this chuck, it's got a closed bearing. It's all sealed, and you see that you can. This chuck is set up so you can stop it. And this is a Nova G2. You can see it's got an open end. The Nova G3 looks a lot like this one, except they balance them a lot more. A lot more. You can see here. I'll show you. Now, if you noticed, I don't know if you can see the inside of these jaws. Let's see here. You can see they're tapered like a dovetail, so they're designed to when you chuck up your piece of wood, which I'll chuck up a couple pieces of wood just to show you, to hold the wood good. Now my favorite chuck is this chuck right here, which is made by One Way. You can see, if you look at the top, they have it not quite as round as the Nova chuck, but if you're chucking up square stock, it holds a whole heap of a lot better. You're gonna be happy if you spent the extra money. This one's about 180, and this one is 300 or 233. I'm sorry. And then the bigger lathe ones, they start at 299. But this is a stronghold chuck made by One Way. You can see the inside the chuck there. They put some grippers, and they make the chuck jaws round, but they also give you a little extra for square edge chucking. And then these chucks are just like a drill chuck. You know, they tighten like this. Of course, PSE's got PSI Nova chuck has got the same chuck with this Allen key system. I prefer the old system, but the new system's great too. And then this chuck here is the least one of my favorite, but if you can't afford you know, the money, $233 for this chuck or $189 for the Nova chuck G2, then this chuck here is $100 from Grizzly, and it's an okay starter. Just make sure you put the chuck jaws on in their appropriate spot, so because they are balanced, but these ones, the Nova chuck and the one way, are you'd be way more happier if you can spend the money by either a Nova chuck, or my favorite is made by One Way, and it's the Talon chuck, or they got the Stronghold. Like I said, it's $231.99. This is my favorite chuck. So let's see if we can throw a chuck on. We'll chuck some wood up and we'll show you how these work here. So put that one away. And of course, make sure that when you do buy a chuck, in the back here, depending on your spindle size on your lathe, this is 1 inch. This is a bushing that goes in here, and then there's 3 Allen keys, and to get it off, there's a hole right next to here. You take all the screws out and then take these 2 screws here and throw it in the screw next to it, and it'll pop this bushing out of this chuck right here. On Nova chuck, it's a little harder. It's it's threaded in there. This is a bushing here. They make this. This is for 1.25" Nova lathe. That's what they made it for. But you just have to be careful when you take this one off, because this one you know, comes off with a wrench or socket, and then you got to hold the chuck in real good. You might need a pipe wrench. Okay, so now let's